Acharya Asiddhar Sadushi Sriman, His Divine Grace Shalasi, Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Gaur Premanande, all glories to the Son, all glories to Shri Guru, Shri Granda, Namo Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prasthaya Bhajaya, Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Janamane, Namaste Saraswati Deve, Gaur Vani Vacharane, Nirvishesha Srimati Bhaktivedanta. Om Agyanat Vedandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chaksur Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shigro Shri Yuddha Pada Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Scha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Prajna Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakam Vitam Scha Hey Krishna Karna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Siddha Devi Pranamami Haripriye Panchakapa Turubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patidana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Pranityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
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 Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 15, Description of the Kingdom of God, Text number 4. Deva Deva Jagat-datar
Deva Deva Jagat-datar
Lokanath Shikhamane
Lokanath Shikamane
Paresham Aparesham Tvam
Paresham Aparesham Tvam
Bhutanam Asi Bhavavet
Bhutanam Asi Bhavavi
Deva Deva Jagat-datar
Deva Deva Jagat-datar
Lokanath Shikhamane
Lokanath Shikamane
Paresham Aparesham Tvam
Paresham Aparesham Tvam
Bhutanam Asi Bhavavet
Bhutanam Asi Bhavavi
Deva Deva Jagat-datar
Deva Deva Jagat-datar
Lokanatha Shikamane
Lokanath Shikamane
Paresham Aparesham Tvam
Paresham Aparesham Tvam
Bhutanam Asi Bhavavi
Bhutanam Asi Bhavavi Deva Deva Jagat-datar Deva Deva Jagat-datar Lokanatha Shikamane Lokanatha Shikamane Paresham Aparesham Tvam Paresham Aparesham Tvam Bhutanam Asi Bhavavi Bhutanam Asi Bhavavi.
Ladies.
Deva Deva Jagat-datar
Deva Deva Jagat-datar
Lokanatha Shikamane
Lokanatha Shikamane
Paresham Aparesham Tvam
Paresham Aparesham Tvam
Bhutanam Asi Bhavavi
Bhutanam Asi Bhavavi
Deva Deva
Deva Deva
O God of the demigods
O God of the demigods
Jagat-datar
Jagat-datar
O sustainer of the universe.
O sustainer of the universe.
Lokanath Shikamane.
Lokanath Shikamane.
O head jewel of all the demigods and other planets.
O head jewel of all the demigods in other planets.
Paresham.
Paresham.
Of the spiritual world.
Of the spiritual world.
Aparesham.
Paresham.
Of the material world.
Of the material world.
Tvam. You. Bhutanam.
Bhutanam.
All of the entities.
All living entities.
Asi.
Are.
Bhavavit. Knowing the intention.
Knowing the intentions.
Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. O God of the demigods, sustainer of the universe, head jewel of all the demigods and other planets, you know the intentions of all living entities in both the spiritual and material worlds. Purport. Because Brahma is almost on an equal footing with the personality of Godhead, he is addressed here as the God of the demigods. And because he is the secondary creator of the universe, he is addressed as the sustainer of the universe. He is the head of all the demigods, and therefore he is addressed here as the head jewel of all the demigods. It is not difficult for him to understand everything which is happening in both the spiritual and material worlds. He knows everyone's heart, everyone's intentions. Therefore he is requested to explain the incident, why was the pregnancy of Diti causing such anxieties all over the universe. Deva Deva Jagadatur Lokanath Shikamane Paresham Aparesham Tvam Bhutanamasi Bhavavit. O God of the demigods, sustainer of the universe, head jewel of all the demigods and other planets, you know the intentions of all living entities in both the spiritual and material worlds. Namo Vishnu Varaya Krishna Prasthaya Buddhaya Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswatam Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Srinivadi Paskatyade Siddharna. Sometimes when a child wants to see the moon, then parents ask the child to see through the branches of a tree. Because the branches of the tree, relative to the child, are far away, and therefore the moon is seen through the tree. So similarly, compared to us, Brahma is a greatly exalted personality. But compared to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he's most insignificant. But from our point of view, it's very difficult to figure anything out. What Brahma's position is, and what to speak of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, in our books, we find sometimes Brahma is being glorified as practically on the level of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and sometimes he's being criticized for being impotent, doing the wrong thing, like for instance stealing Krishna's cow or boys and the calves, or chasing after his daughter, or other things. For instance, giving boons to Hiranyakashipu. Therefore, we find in Brihad Bhagavatamrita, when Gopakumara is going from one planet to the next, glorifying different personalities, either on this earth, some Brahmin who performs a sacrifice said, I'm most insignificant, you should go to this king, because he's much more opulent. He goes to the king, and the king says, I'm insignificant, you should go to Jagannath Puri, because that's where you can find real opulence. He goes to Jagannath Puri, and the king said, well, I live and die, you should go to the heavenly planets. That's where they're actually, Indra is really glorious. Goes to Indra's planet and glorifies him. Indra says, you glorify me as a devotee, I'm not even a devotee. I stole so many, I tried to kill Krishna and the inhabitants of Vrindavan. What kind of devotee is that? I killed a great devotee of Krishna's, Vritrasura. How can you glorify him? I'm not even a devotee, I'm not even a devotee, what does mean a great devotee? And then he said, if you really want to meet a devotee, then you should go to meet the Kumaras. So then he meets the Kumaras, and they're all engaged in meditation. And they don't really consider themselves very elevated either. So then you should meet Brahma. So he goes to Brahma, and Brahma gets very agitated. He says, "You're calling me devotee?" He said, "I stole Krishna's calves and cowherd boys." What kind of devotee is that? Goes around stealing God's servants. I gave benedictions to a demon. I'm not a devotee. You should go meet Shiva. So I meet Shiva, and Shiva says, "I'm even worse. I fought against Shiva, against Krishna. When Usha and Aniruddha, when Banu arrested Aniruddha, I took Banusura's side, and I fought against Krishna and his relatives. Same time, I gave benedictions to so many demons like Rikashura and others. So how can you say I'm even a devotee? You really want to meet a devotee, then you have to meet Prahlad. So he meets Prahlad, and Prahlad says, it goes on and on, I'm not really a devotee. God may have appeared because he felt sorry for me. He only appeared for a moment, but actually he really appeared to kill this demon. He didn't really, etc., etc. And go to the Pandavas, finally they go to the gopis. But the gopis, they don't even think they're very great devotees. So that way we have to see that there's relatively up and down, but all the devotees have the same mood, that actually we're just aspiring to become devotees. Even in the spiritual world, Srimati Radharani doesn't think I'm a great devotee. Everyone should worship me, because without chanting my name first, you don't go anywhere. She thinks I'm hardly a devotee. Only by the mercy of the other devotees can I do any service. And even if they push me forward, that's because they're great devotees. So everyone in the spiritual world, anyone in spiritual consciousness, always thinks the other devotees are actually great devotees, and I'm hardly even a devotee. I'm just aspiring devotee. So here Brahma is being glorified because he is a very powerful personality. After all, we can't even create a building, and he's created a universe. Although behind Brahma is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he didn't do all of it by himself. He became eligible to create a universe because he learned how to depend upon Krishna. It's not that he became greater and greater and greater because he went away from Krishna. Therefore he became more and more powerful. He became more and more powerful because he became more and more Krishna conscious. He realized he was completely dependent upon Krishna, and one who depends completely upon Krishna becomes just like Krishna. It's like if you put an iron in a fire, it gets hotter and hotter and hotter, and then it becomes just like fire. So the more we depend upon Krishna, Krishna says, Chaitasa sarva karmani maya sanyasya matparaha buddhi yogam upashritya masjita sadatam bhava. In all activities, depend upon me, work always under my protection. In such devotional service, be fully conscious of me. Therefore, the more one accepts that everything here is Krishna's property and works under the instructions of Krishna and his representatives, such as in the Bhagavad Gita and other representatives of Krishna, the more one does his activities just to please Krishna, then the more he becomes empowered to do whatever service Krishna desires. And the more one thinks everything here belongs to me, and that I'm simply independent, and that I do everything to please my senses, and things in relation to my senses, then the more Krishna takes away one, the more the illusory energy robs one of real spiritual intelligence, and eventually puts one in a position where one does less harm to oneself and others. Therefore Brahma, Lord Brahma, is the most pious living entity within the universe, who after 100 years successfully executed perfectly the Varna and Ashram system as a Brahmin. Therefore, he became eligible to become Brahma, some Brahma in some universe. And therefore, everything he's doing is just like as a perfect instrument for Krishna. Krishna told Arjuna, Tasmat tvam yutishti shodavasva jitva shatram bhushva rajan samidam mayayavate niyatam purvameva nimitra matram bhavasavasachim. Get up and prepare to fight, and after conquering your enemies, enjoy a flourishing kingdom. They're already put to death by my arrangement, and you as Savasachi can be but an instrument in the fight. So Brahma is someone who's become a perfect instrument for Krishna. Doesn't mean he's as good as Krishna. I mean, he's qualitatively almost as good as Krishna, but quantitatively he still remains insignificant. Because everyone's insignificant compared to Krishna. There's one Brahman in this universe, as when Brahma went to see Lord Krishna at Dwarka, and he knocked on the door, and he said, I would like to see Lord Krishna. So the doorkeeper said, all right, I'll tell Krishna you're here. So the doorkeeper comes back and says, my dear Brahma, Krishna wants to know which Brahma you are. So Brahma knows the whole creation because he created it. Just like if someone created this building, then you walk around, he knows more or less the whole building. So because Brahma created the universe, he more or less is familiar with the whole universe. So he said, I don't remember any other Brahmas, around the universe. Maybe they're hiding when I was doing everything. So Brahma became a little doubtful. He said, tell him on the forehead of Brahma, the father of the Kumaras. So then the doorkeeper came back and said, all right, you can come in. Luckily he didn't say, which Kumaras? The little guys that's 5 years old. Show us some ID. So he came in, they discussed whatever Brahma wanted to discuss, management of the universe, and best practices in other universes. So then finally Brahma said, I'm a little doubtful. You asked which Brahma, and as far as I understood, I'm the only Brahma. There are more Brahmas. So then Krishna smiled, and then suddenly Brahma saw there are millions of Brahmas coming. Some with 10 heads, some with 100 heads, some with 1,000 heads, 10,000 heads, 1,000,000 heads, 10 million heads. That means they had 10 million heads, 20 million eyes. And at the same time, so many Shivas came, so many Indras came, and all the Brahmas were paying obeisances, their helmets were touching, the 10 million helmets touching the ground, making a huge sound. So Brahma felt himself to be like a mosquito in the midst of all these other Brahmas. Although our Brahma could see all these other Brahmas, but they could not see him. And all of them, they thought that Krishna had called him personally, without calling all the other Brahmas. So then Brahma thought, well, now I understand, I'm really insignificant. I was proud, I was the creator and the most intelligent person within this universe, but now I can see, actually I'm completely insignificant. But for us, Brahma is not some ordinary personality. We shouldn't think, oh yeah, he's just like a mosquito. He lives for 311 trillion, 40 billion years. So he's lived for 150 trillion years. He has a lot of experience in devotional service. Besides that, our Brahma recently was here as Haridas Thakur, Namacharya. So our Brahma is not an ordinary Brahma. He's a Mahabhagava. On the other hand, we have to always try to put it in perspective. When Narada Muni addressed him as, in the second canto, as the Lord of the universe, he covered his 8 ears and said, Vishnu, Vishnu, don't, I already told you, I'm not the Lord of the universe. I'm the servant of the Lord of the universe. Can't you get it right, Narada? Because although compared to us, he's infinitely powerful, but compared to Krishna, he's insignificant. But without understanding how a person is exalted as Brahma, then how can we even begin to imagine that when he himself is feeling insignificant before Lord Krishna? All these Brahmas all became Vishnu forms, and all the Shivas from their different universes came, and time came, and all the different living entities and everything. So and then Brahma became confused. He couldn't fit it all into his 4 heads. So Krishna had to cover him with Yogamaya to stop his confusion. What to speak of ourselves walking around thinking we know everything. We already realized everything. What more is there to know? We don't even know who we are, what to speak of knowing what's going on in the back of our heads. What to speak of a personality like Brahma, who practically knows Trikala again, because he's already seen it all. The universe has been going on since 150 trillion years, which is only half the breath of Mahavishnu. But still, for us, it's a long time. Although we're thinking our life is very long. I have so many years left, I can take it easy. And when I get time, I'll become Krishna conscious. But in one moment of Brahma's life, there are 96,000 of our years. 1 second of Brahma's life. That means in 1 second of Brahma's life, we've already passed through 1,000 of our lives on this planet. And we're thinking we're going to live a long time. And Brahma's life is only for the breath of Mahavishnu, just the exhalation. Therefore, we have to try to put things in perspective. That will help us take Krishna consciousness more seriously and be able to give up some of our really petty attachments and try to take seriously becoming an instrument for Krishna. Because in that sense, on this planet, we don't have so much to gain, we don't have so much to lose either. So it's a position where we can much more easily agree to become Krishna's instrument and do what Krishna wants us to do. So Maya will say, do this. And we can say, yeah, I'll do that. Wait a second, I don't want to do that. That's not what Krishna told me to do. So then Maya says, well, why don't you do that? No, I'll only do what Krishna wants me to do. And then finally we'll ask Krishna, what would you like me to do? And then when we do that, then we become Krishna's instrument. We can't say, oh, I'm doing whatever I want to do, but I'm a perfect instrument because I have a nice sari or dhoti on. Therefore, I'm perfect. All my internal realizations have been manifest because I shave my head and I put on a sari or a dhoti. Therefore, I must be perfect. Because who else in this world can make such a sacrifice for Krishna? Therefore, we have to find out what Krishna wants, and the more deeply we do that, then the more likely it is we'll avoid simply listening to the first thing that comes from our minds, and the first impulse that comes to our senses. And if we do that, we become an instrument for Krishna, then gradually we'll realize not how wonderful and great we are, but we'll realize how wonderful and great everyone else is. So that's called love. Because if one wants to love himself as the center of the universe, it's not very good to find out how good anyone else is. It'll spoil our meditation, because we're really not that great. Therefore, anyone who wants to love themselves alone will definitely have to limit his appreciation of others, because otherwise one will feel oneself quite insignificant. But if one is willing to become insignificant, then one can understand and appreciate how wonderful Krishna is to some degree, and even how wonderful everyone else is. And that's called Krishna consciousness. So I'll stop there. Any questions? Yes.
How come after hearing all this story about the greatness of the demigod and other devotees, we don't have this realization to feel like a mosquito that we are insignificant, and how to reach that stage?
Well, because even the mosquitoes are probably puffed up too. I'm the best of the mosquitoes. And all these other living entities are just there so I can refuel as I go about my tour of my kingdom. How to realize it? We have to become Krishna conscious. We have to realize how wonderful Krishna is by doing devotional service. If Krishna reveals himself by our efforts to try to please him, then when we see how wonderful Krishna is, then we'll feel ourselves insignificant. When Krishna sees how wonderful, when he sees the wonder of his creation, he himself feels insignificant. So what to speak of ourselves? So we have to see how wonderful Krishna is. And Krishna is wonderful, and Krishna's devotees are wonderful. So when we actually try to serve them, which means just even by the regular principles of devotional service, it's also service. Prabhupada said if you get up in the Nectar Devotion, if you get up in the morning in class he gave, and you attend Mangalarti, which here is relatively easy compared to other places, then you're serving the lotus feet of Srila Rupa Goswami. So it's not hard to serve the acharyas and Krishna. We just have to do it, and gradually, if we learn the techniques, then gradually we'll become more Krishna conscious. The more Krishna conscious we become, then more naturally we'll understand how, in relation to others, we're not as great as we used to think we were.
If we feel that we are insignificant, don't we also have the possibility to think that whatever service we do, it's also insignificant because it's so small what we can do?
Well, that's good. It is pretty small. We're not going to save the world. We're lucky if we can save ourselves. So what kind of significance are we thinking? I'm going to, by my service, I'm going to become, the savior of the whole universe. No. We simply, by becoming an instrument, we let Krishna save the universe. We don't save anything. We simply permit Krishna to save the universe however he wants to through us, to whatever degree. It's when Vishnu Jan Maharaj asked Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying now I'm leaving, my work undone. So why is he saying his work is undone? So Srila Prabhupada said he's Vaishnava, he's all powerful, he could have finished everything, but he left something for us to do. Otherwise, if he saved everyone, what could we do? We wouldn't have any service left. So Krishna could save everyone, but he leaves a little bit to us to do, a little service for us to do, as his instrument. But as far as lamenting, we're engaged in devotional service, which is love. So if someone realizes the source of all love and the relationships of love that are going on in the spiritual world and adds a little to it, one feels quite fortunate. Not only to add a little bit of the loving exchanges in the relation between Krishna and his devotees, but also to be able to experience those loving exchanges too, one is most fortunate. And although Krishna, when one is actually under the spell of Yoga Maya, all these understandings of one's, relative position in relation to the other devotees is sometimes covered, because Krishna likes that. For instance, when Krishna dances with the gopis in the rasa dance, each gopi is thinking, Krishna's dancing with me alone. So that's due to the influence of Yoga Maya. But they don't suddenly think usually how good all these other girls left. They were just a botheration. No, it's just Krishna arranges that so that they can feel that Krishna is paying more attention to them than to anyone else. But that's rasa. But for right now, we shouldn't think like that. Because the gopis, they never really think like that. That everyone else here in the spiritual world, they don't really belong here. Krishna doesn't really need them here. Oh, they appreciate everyone. The gopis, when they talk about Krishna's pastimes, they just don't talk about, what they did last night with Krishna. They're talking about the deer in Vrindavan, they're talking about the demigods, they're talking about the clouds. They appreciate everyone's service to Krishna. So we shouldn't be so much anxious that we have to be put as the center of the universe, because we'll never be the center of the universe. It's just an illusion. Even the activities of this body, even they became the center of the universe, like Lord Brahma, but Brahma knows I'm not the center of the universe, because I'm not my body. I simply surrender to Krishna, and Krishna is utilizing my body as he desires. So Krishna is the center of the universe. And I have the opportunity to watch Krishna as he's performing his pastimes as Lord Brahma in this universe, that's all. So we shouldn't think, now I become the center. No, we should think, now I have an opportunity to watch Krishna perform his pastimes through this body, in mind and words that I have, that I'm in. Then we become Krishna conscious, that's our reward. Not only watching Krishna perform his pastime, but we'll also remember Krishna. And as soon as we think they're my pastimes, and I'm the center of some kind of pastimes, then we'll forget Krishna. We leave Krishna out of the rasa dance, then when they're Maya dance. Anything else? As it says, the whole world is full of Krishna singing in the Krishna book. And everyone's understanding in different ways. That everyone's dancing with Krishna, but those who are dancing in harmony with Krishna, they're dancing in a rasa dance. And those who are dancing trying to imitate Krishna, they're dancing under the influence of Maya, the illusory energy. Alright. Thank you very much. Grandharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanande